Hi, good day and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to learn how to create this beautiful webinar flyer or poster in Pixellab using my smartphone. These are the images we are going to be using for this tutorial. These are the only external resources we are going to be using. So I'll leave a link in the description where you can download these resources to follow along with me. So let's get right into it. So for this, the first thing I'm going to do is to change the size of my canvas, because if you look at the image here, it is not a square canvas. So what I'm going to do is to change the size of my canvas to 1080 by 1350 pixels. That is the Instagram carousel size. The next thing I'm going to do is to set my grid. So I'm going to set this to 10%, set this as well to 10%, to 90 because it's 10 from the other side. Then I'm going to make it magnetic by clicking on this icon. The next thing I'm going to do is to define my background. So I'm going to change the color here. I'll use gradients. I use the gradient for the background. So I already have it set down here, but I'm going to create it anew. So this is it, but if you're going to go by default, these are the colors. So this is the color code I used, A618C8. So if you want to follow along, that's the color code you use. Then for the blue, this is the color code I used, 006BC3, 006BC3. And then I moved the purple to start from the top, just like this. So once my background is set, and then I'm going to add in the rectangle in the design. So shapes, add in my rectangle, extend it to fill the screen, and then bring it somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere here is okay. Then when I'm done adding my rectangle, I'll just lock it because I don't want to be moving it around. The next thing I'm going to do is to import my images. There's an effect I did in the original flyer. These images here at the top right. To create this, let me show you what I did. I'm just going to use the eyeball icon to hide the rectangle and then change my background to transparent. Then I'm going to import a shape, a rectangle, snap it to the end, change the color to bright yellow. So the color code for that is going to be FFFF11. So bright yellow. Okay. And then I'm going to save this image. I'm going to save it to my gallery. So save to gallery as PNG without the background. Then I'm just going to delete it, import my images, import this one first, and then just going to move it to the center, increase it a bit using the slider, move it to the center just like this, and save it as well as PNG. Then I'll just hide it. I'll not delete it this time around, just hide it, import the next image, which is this girl, increase the size a bit. I think I'll just leave it at the size it was, bring it down a bit. I think I'll reduce it. Okay, I think it's looking nice. bring it to the center and save it as well. And just like what I did for the previous one, I just used the eyeball icon to hide it. And then now I'm going to import that shape I saved in. Import that shape I saved. Then from relative size, I'm going to just increase it to the 100%. And I'm going to go to texture and import the first image we saved as texture. And this is how it comes out. And I'm going to use the eyeball icon to make this guy show up. Then I'll bring him to the front. I'll just drag him to the top of the layer panel, and I'll use the mask tool to edit, enable the mask. Oh no, I have to select the guy, sorry about that. Then enable the mask tool. So I've deleted the excesses, I've maxed out the excesses from him. And then if you look at this now, you see that I've gotten the effect I used in the flyer. Then I'm going to save this now. And I'll do the same thing for the girl. So with the guy, with the rectangle selected, I go to texture, delete this original texture, and then import the girl's picture. So this is how it looks. And then I'm going to use the mask tool. I'm going to make her picture visible again, move it to the top, and same thing I did for the previous one, use the mask tool. Oh, I made the same mistake I made again. I have to make sure the girl's picture is selected and use the mask tool. So I've gotten that effect, and I'll just save this as well. So when I'm done with all this, I can just delete their images, delete this rectangle I imported, switch back on the eyeball icon for the rectangle, and then go to the background and import our gradients for the background. The next thing I'm going to do is to import my images. So import my images, start with this guy's picture. The size I'm going to use is 45, and I'll just snap it to this line and move it right here, just like this. Import the girl's picture as well, resize it to 45 as well. Snap it to this line and move it here. I'll just move it till her image touches this grid at the edge. And then I have to move this guy's picture back, just like this. And time to import the big image, the big picture. So I'll just go to downloads and bring her picture in, flip it to face this other side and crop it a bit, and then I'm done. I'll use the slider to increase the size to fit to how the previous design is, just like this. This is it. There's this white mask I used for her picture, so this, I'm going to achieve that. I'm going to duplicate, I'm going to copy her picture, copy it, then use this color to make it white, and then send it to back, and then move it here, move it over here. I can use the position to and we're done with the images. Next thing is to import our text. So our text is Gaining Mastery. That's our title for this, Gaining Mastery. So I'm just going to use the text tool, type in Gaining, change the font to Outfit Extra Bold. Outfit Extra Bold is the font I used. And then I'm just going to add a new grid so I align it properly. Add a new grid, a new horizontal grid, drag it to where this picture started. That should be around 44. And then I'll just align my gaining to it. Gaining. Then I'll add my shadow, reduce the opacity to 25, reduce the blur radius to 5, and offset the Y offset to 10. That's giving it this soft shadow. And then I'm just going to duplicate this gaining by using the copy tool. Duplicate the gaining and edit the text to mastery. I will increase the size to about 110. Reduce the spacing by 5. The shadow is still there because I duplicated the gaining. Then I'm going to go to color and change it to this bright yellow. I think I'll just reduce the text size, the spacing, sorry, for this gaining by 5 as well. Then I'll use the position tool to move it up. Same with the mastery. So I think we are done importing the text. The title text, I think they're a little bit small, but I'll just leave that for now. Next thing I'm going to import is the crown on the head of the host. So I'll just go to import, and this is the crown right here. Import it, rotate it a bit, reduce the size using the slider. And change the color to a bright yellow. So as you can see, the flyer is coming along pretty well. Another tip I'll just throw in is when you're done designing anything and you're sure it is in the position it's meant to be, you can just use this padlock icon to lock it in place so that you don't move it around or mess around with it. So that's that. So I think my rectangle is a bit too high, so I'll just go to the layers panel, unlock it, click on it, go to edit and reduce it a bit, just a bit. And then I think I'll just lock it back. This font size, I have to unlock my title text and increase the size to about 135. 135, and then increase this guy's size to 115. Yeah, I think we've gotten it. Then I'll just use the position tool to nudge it up a bit so there's quite an adequate space between the two of them. I can just come to the layers panel, select both of them and use the position tool to bring them both down together into about here. And that's nice. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to add that pattern that is under here, this pattern right here. So I'm just going to go to import, and this is the pattern. And I just resized it this way, brought it in like this, and from the layers panel I just moved it behind picture of the girl and used the color and used the gradients, and I just layered the gradient we've already created on it. That's all. Locked it so I don't tamper with it. Okay, the next text I'm going to import is the webinar. So I just go to my clipboard, a 2-day online webinar. Reduce the size to 20 to about 20. I'll leave it at 24 and go to the font and change the font to Outfit Regular, and I increase the spacing by 6. Then I'll just align it right here. It's the online webinar. Then I can just copy this and use for the names of our hosts, of our facilitators, sorry. Then just edit it, go to my clipboard, Adebayo Rob, then spacing I'm just going to reduce it to -2. Increase this, change the font size to 30. I have to change the font as well to Outfit semi-bold. Then I'll use the position tool to nudge it right here, and then just copy it, bring it right here for the next facilitator. I think I'll just bring in a new vertical grid, place it right here so I can snap the two texts to it so that they are both vertically aligned, horizontally aligned. Sorry, I misplaced that, those two words a lot. So I'm just going to bring in her name, Omotayo Runke. That's the name I chose. I don't know why I chose Yoruba names throughout, but that's fine. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is their titles, what they do. Copy, bring it down here just like this. I think I'll create another grid for it. Just move the grid up here. No specific value, I'm just creating them so I'm able to align the text horizontally. I got that right this time. Okay, so I'll just reduce the size to 20. Change the font to Outfit Light, snap it to this line and change it to, I think she's a brand strategist. Use the position tool to move it just like that, and then I'll just copy it, bring it down here, and edit this guy product designer. Next thing I'm going to do is to bring in our access fee, the date and the time. Access fee, date and time. So to achieve that, I created a rectangle, so I'm just going to import the shape, snap it to this line, bring it down a bit. I think I'll just snap it there. I think this size is okay. And then I'm going to change the color to the color of our gradient. I'll just copy this and click on the edit panel. Then I'll just move it down here and change the color to black. Let's change the color to black. Then from the layers panel, I move it behind this one and then reduce the opacity to about 10%. When I'm done, I lock the both of them. I think I'll just lock everything right now because I don't want to tamper with them. So everything is locked so I don't tamper with them. Next thing is to bring in our text. So I think I will unlock this 2D webinar because I want to copy it. Copy, lock it back, bring it down here, edit the text, change it to access fee, semicolon. Use the position tool to nudge it. Into place. I think that's fine. Then I'm just going to copy it, bring it down here, increase the size to about 77, change it to 5K, then reduce the spacing to 0. I can even reduce it to -5. Change the font to outfit semi-bold. Then change the color to a bright yellow. I think I'll just nudge it to fit into the middle. So this is where your eye comes in. Just move it to fit into the middle. I think I'll move that access feed down a bit. Don't know why it keeps snapping to that line. Move it down a bit and voila, we've created that. Next thing is I'm just going to edit this, copy this access fee, bring it down here, change the color to black, reduce the spacing to -5. Then I'll just put in our date, which is this. Increase the size to about 30 or 35. Use this slider to bring this down. Change the font to outfit semi-bold. I think I'll reduce the line spacing a bit. -5 is okay. Then I'll just use the position tool to nudge it down and nudge it a bit to the right. Next thing I did there was to duplicate. From here I'll just copy this, go to edit to create that line, bring it down a bit, then change the color to our gradient color. Then I'll select it from the layers panel and nudge the opacity back up to 100%. So just copy this text, copy, bring it down here, and edit it to our time, 7 p.m. WAT. Just like this. Use position to move it a bit, and then I'll color it I'll make it the color of our gradient, just like that. I think I'll just nudge it down a bit. Voila. Next, I'm just going to copy this rectangle from here, go to edit, drag it out this way. I think I'll just move it down here for the name of our host. This grid line is at 19%, so I just kept it there, so I snapped the name of our host to it. So I just copy this, snap it down here, change the color to white, and impute the name of our host. It's on my clipboard, Tola Ademola. Increase the size, text size to about 38. Then I'll just copy it, bring it down here, change the color to yellow, change the font to outfit light, and I'm sorry about that, this rotate button I keep touching, change it to hosts, try and snap it to this line, and we're almost done. The next thing is to impute the link here, the registration link. So just copy this, change the color to black, and to register, visit bit.ly/mstry to register, capital T. Then I'll reduce the size because I want it to align with this grid line. Reduce the text size to about 35 or 34. Okay, that's fine. Use the position tool to nudge it down a bit. Then I'll change the color, change the font to outfit medium, regular, and then change the font of the link to outfit semi-bold. Then I'll just change the color of the link alone. Use the eyedropper tool and pick a color from our background. I think that's nice. We're almost done. But then in the original flyer or poster, you will notice this light effect at this angle here, and on the face of the host. So I'll show you how I did that. I'll make sure to lock everything, so I'll not tamper with anything. Lock everything up. I can hide my grid. This is coming along pretty well. then go to shapes. I'll use a circle, then I'll go to gradients, use the radial gradient just like this. Change this color, the one in the middle, change it to white. The one at the edge, just reduce the opacity using the slider to the end. And I've created like a blur. I think I'll just move this opacity slider, move it a bit in, just like that. Then voila, created like a blur, like a light blur effect. Then I'll just increase this in size, move it over here, copy it, move it over here. I think I'll just increase this a bit, move it over here. This is just like to add a little light effect to your design. Okay, so we're done with the flyer. To export, just click on this icon at the top of your screen, the center icon at the top of your screen, which is this icon right here. And then I normally export at ultra, so it's at the best quality, the crisp quality. And then I'll just save to my gallery, and it renders, and boom, image saved. And that's it, we're done. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification icon so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos, because I'll be making more and more videos like this, more tutorials on Pixellab. So see you in the next one.